I'd like to say some very serious words about sexual harassment, bullying, power. We have an opportunity, we have a unique opportunity right here. If we knock off the phony labels that don't give us any information at all, the derogatory labels, predator, pervert. This gives us no information at all, doesn't clarify anything. We now have a chance to rip the guts and expose everything having to do with bullying, power, sexual harassment, harassment of all kinds. I'm 5 feet 3 inches tall. I'm 70 years old. I've taken every insult there is to take. Bullying, harassment, power, intimidation. Because I did not understand it, because I listened to a lot of bad feedback, a lot of bad information from people who thought they knew but really didn't. I've heard religious judgments, labels, all obfuscation. It's very important to get into the bowels, into the guts, into the nerves of power, intimidation, bullying, sexual harassment. We have to be able to recognize what it is practically, not theoretically. That doesn't do anything. So let's knock off all these labels and let's quit listening to these two-bit comedians that are only in the business to get cheap laugh at somebody's expense, to put some poor bastard in a pillory and blame him for everything. Let's knock that off. Power is with us. It can't be gotten rid of. It takes the individual. It took me a lifetime to find out the truth about this. It takes the individual under the gun of power intimidation. He has to recognize it, call it what it is, and expose it practically. This takes courage. It takes guts. I didn't have it. It took me a lifetime to learn. My method was to be a better and better laughing loser, to turn the cheek on and hope it'll go away, to make an excuse for it, to want to be a nice guy. And I found out the worst epitaph any man can have is, here lies a good guy, a nice guy. You have to call it by its name immediately. But now we have a phenomenon in this society which makes this very difficult to do. These individuals that practice power intimidation, harassment, sexual, physical, social harassment, insult artists of all kinds, know how to camouflage. They hide out. They know how to justify it. And here we come down to the dialectical struggle. Creepy versus cool guy. Long leash, short leash. We see celebrities getting away with things that Filner was accused of. We see this all the time. Rock gods, movie stars. I saw one situation, I couldn't believe it. Elvis impersonator. He sung Burning Love. Walk around the house singing Burning Love. He smacked the ass of the mother. Then he walks around and smacks the ass of the daughter and smacks the ass of many women there. And they loved it. Does it take a personality, a sweet personality to pull it off? To know how to finesse it? When is it a compliment? And when is it sexual harassment? Who's doing it? We need clear rules of engagement. That's what I'm talking about. Not comedy. Not some two-bit piece of garbage comedian trying to get a cheap laugh at somebody's expense. I'm talking serious business. Bullying, the label's predator, the label's pervert. Serious. Why? Because of the images they conjure up. They give us no information, but they do conjure up vicious images. And then the victim, and yes, I say victim, of that type of mockery is totally vulnerable on image alone. I own expertise on this. I turn my cheek to garbage all my life. And I blame myself. It takes a lifetime to learn this, but we do have an opportunity, and that's my point, to see it in its naked reality in the Filner case. Filner definitely needs to speak his side of the issue. No question in my mind. Otherwise, it's a railroading. It's a railroading. Granted, this man used very poor judgment. That's what he's guilty of. Lousy practical judgment. Now, as far as power abuse is concerned, unless there are specific remedies clearly spelled out, surveillance that can identify and put a practical embodiment on these claims, we have nothing to work with. Power, intimidation, mockery, that's the stuff of comedy. That's the stuff slash and burn. Is stand-up. I cannot tell you how many times I left the comedy store sick to my stomach at the garbage I heard those punk comedians come up with. They have to get laughs at anybody's expense, even at the expense of a very serious issue like the issues being raised in the Filner situation. I like to see a very serious, intelligently driven inquiry without the labels. Get rid of the fucking labels. They don't mean anything, man. They give us no information. They only obfuscate. The right questions need to be asked in the right form, in the right way. A stand-up comedian is in the business of slash and burn. Get laughs at anybody's expense any way you can. And it's very easy when you've got a nice victim, ready-made victim right out there. You set him up. And I'm the one to know because I've been a victim all my life of this kind of garbage. I am the one to know. I am the expert. And I'd say for sure we have a chance to bust the belly of power, manipulation, and intimidation, sexual harassment, and find out exactly what that means. Because it means one thing for cool guy, it means something else for creepy guy, doesn't it? What one son of a bitch can get away with, the other guy cannot. He's labeled the predator. He's labeled the pervert. Meanwhile, the cool guy gets away. Cool guy's cool. Entertainers. Politicians are entertainers. Where does it end? Where do you draw the line? Where do you come up with a clear, clean, accurate definition? You can't. That's my point. It's a struggle. You have to have a forum. That's what I'm arguing for. Not a definition of sexual harassment of power. It's bullying. You'll never stop it. But you need a forum to redress the issues and state them in an unbiased, objective, clean, clear atmosphere where it's camcorded, recorded. There's interrogation on both sides. Let them fight it out in an unbiased arena. Let's ask the right questions. Let's get the right evidence. Not a show trial. We have a chance to expose the horrible gut of power manipulation, intimidation, mockery and insult, sexual harassments of all kinds. And I'm the one to know about it.